industry if you have a very, very strong opinion on which dive bar you go to.
If you can drink espresso after 9 p.m.
Even at home, you drink out of a deli container.
You have a knife tattoo on your sleeve.
Do you have one?
I don't know.
You're stressed the hell out.
Yeah.
That is it. You're stressed out.
You look like you only see fluorescent light.
If you're wearing dance goes in public.
You order a shot of Fernet at the bar.
You cut your tape.
I could like really say some things. It's like that's like a PG one.
Is definitely fun to give to new people.
Malort is gross.
Malort is release.
Malort is ooh.
Oh, garbage.
A great bittering agent. A great substitute.
Malort is troubling.
Malort is delicious. Debatable.
Malort is freaking awesome.
Malort is delicious. Delicious.
if you have a very, very strong opinion on which dive bar you go to.
If you can drink espresso after 9 p.m.
Even at home, you drink out of a deli container.
You have a knife tattoo on your sleeve.
Do you have one?
I don't know.
You're stressed the hell out.
Yeah.
That is it. You're stressed out.
You look like you only see fluorescent light.
If you're wearing dance goes in public.
You order a shot of Fernet at the bar.
You cut your tape.
I could like really say some things. That's like a PG one.
Malort is definitely fun to give to new people.
Malort is gross.
Malort is release.
Malort is ooh.
Oh, garbage.
A great bittering agent. A great substitute.
Malort is troubling.
Malort is delicious. Debatable.
Malort is freaking awesome.
Malort is delicious. Delicious.
If you have a very, very strong opinion on which dive bar you go to.
If you can drink espresso after 9 p.m.
Even at home, you drink out of a deli container.
You have a knife tattoo on your sleeve.
Do you have one? I don't know.
You're stressed the hell out.
Yeah.
That is it. You're stressed out.
You look like you only see fluorescent light.
If you're wearing dance goes in public.
You order a shot of Fernet at the bar.
You cut your tape.
I could like really say some things. That's like a PG one.
definitely fun to give to new people.
Malort is gross.
Malort is release.
Malort is ooh.
Oh, garbage.
A great bittering agent. A great substance.
Chicago. This is a place where real people live, culture thrives, and food is sophisticated. In this scrappy, broad-shouldered town, we celebrate culinary excellence with the Jean Banchet Awards. Chef Banchet's innovative approach to French cuisine had a significant influence on Chicago's culinary scene, helping to establish the city as a major food destination. But who am I? Shockingly, I'm not Jean Banchet. I'm Michael Muser. Tonight, I'm your MC and behind-the-scenes guide to the Chicago culinary scene. Come with me as we visit some of this year's nominees on their home turf. What does it mean to be nominated for a Banchet Award to you guys?
I'm just so proud of my son. He gets all the credit for it right now.
To just have people support you from the inside and the outside is an amazing feeling.
Does he get a paycheck or does he get allowance?
Allowance.
Allowance, right? What would it mean to your parents to win this award, especially knowing that you're not a doctor or a lawyer?
My mom would probably ask, is this a prerequisite to becoming a doctor?
I feel like I'm watching Jiro Dreams of Sushi, but with olives and blue cheese. What's the best advice you've ever received from anybody in the industry?
I think just be true to yourself, honestly. Like, cook with joy and love. Love is the ingredient you can't taste, but if it's not there, you know it.
If Chicago made wine, what do you think that would taste like?
Maybe it'll be like a more like Pirozzini peppery, Giardiniera, sport pepper.
What makes you keep coming back to work knowing that nothing tastes better than a Big Mac?
Are we being like serious or?
There's no doubt about it. You guys are wildly successful and super popular. How much of that do you owe to your mustache?
I would say about 90% of it. Yeah.
Chef, who is Veed and why is everyone trying to sue him?
Veed. Oh, no.
This is going over my head. Oh, I see.
Who's a better fictional chef? Chef Boyardee or the Swedish Chef from the Muppets?
It's got to be the Swedish Chef every time.
Swedish Chef or Remy the Rat?
Remy the Rat.
Remy the Rat or Ina Garten?
Oh, man. Remy the Rat. Remy the Rat.
Grant Achatz, Carrie Nahabinian, and Rick Bayless. Kiss, marry, cook.
I'm kissing Grant just for paving the way for us here in Chicago. I'm cooking Rick Bayless, the spices, the flavor, and I'm marrying Carrie because she's amazing.
Gus is known for its well thought out bathrooms. Do you have like a favorite selfie from the bathroom that you've seen on the Instagram?
So there's like literally thousands of. There's been some really entertaining ones. I mean, people really get creative when you give them a good backdrop and a mirror in a bathroom. So,
What do you think everyone should know about the Chicago food scene?
The community here is incredibly generous. We're all very supportive of each other, and we want to see each other win.
It's really the Midwest sensibility. I think everybody wants each other to succeed here.
It's a lot more passion and grit, a lot less glitz and glamour. So it takes psychotic people like us to be in this industry when it's like for passion and it's not for recognition.
The different diversity of ethnic groups that's in Chicago, to be able to try any type of cuisine you could think of, that's what makes it such a great scene. You got everything.
Please welcome to the stage your host with the most, your award MC for the evening, Michael Muser!
Oh, hi! Where's all my friends? Hi, Chef Grant. Holy cow! Look at you guys, Chicago's culinary finest. Wearing real clothes. I'm shocked. Not chef coats, not aprons, not that one black front of house shirt you all pull off as front of house formal. No! Tonight you guys look glorious, you look glamorous, you look almost well rested. Welcome to the 2026 Banchet Awards, you guys. The one night our Chicago hospitality community stops to celebrate the beautiful chaos that makes our community everything that it is in Chicago, one of the greatest dining cities in America, you guys. Yeah. If you're nominated tonight, I hope you're proud. Nobody gets here by accident. You get here by grinding hard, failing spectacularly, and then getting back up and grinding hard again. You burn the midnight oil and occasionally the entire sheet pan. You deserve to be here and you've earned it. Congratulations. My name is Michael Muser, and it is my absolute privilege and pretty much now my legal obligation to be your host this evening. So it's good to be here. If you're new to the Banchets, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. And if you are at home right now on your couch watching in your PJs because we're streaming live on NBC tonight, then good for you for not having to get all dressed up. Yeah, for real. Tonight we gather in the spirit of Jean Banchet, a man whose work at La Francais put Chicago's culinary scene on the map long before social media, long before tasting menus became content for Instagram creators, and long before a restaurant had things like vibe consultants. True. His legacy lives in your kitchens, and because of the standards that he set, we have this award show here tonight. And speaking of standards, a little restaurant called Alinea turned 20 years old this year, you guys. How about that? Yeah. That means Alinea is a full-grown adult restaurant with a 401k and lower back pain. 20 years of redefining dining, 20 years of accolades. My goodness gracious. You put that into perspective, you guys, that's 22 seasons of Top Chef. It's all the John Wick movies. It's countless developments in the world of restaurant linen by innovators like Morgan Linen. Hi, Alden. It's one of our sponsors tonight. Unless you think that turning 20 years old threatens their relevancy, just this year, the Robb Report named Alinea the greatest restaurant of the 21st century. How about that? It's pretty amazing. Now, we all have our memories of Alinea. It's been around so long and it's so iconic. Many of these, I'm sure, revolve around edible balloons and tabletop desserts and so on and so forth. But I have my favorite Alinea story. Can I tell you guys really quick? And before I tell it to you, I want you to know that most of what I'm going to tell you is actually true. You see, my favorite Alinea story goes back to 2014 when a couple dined at Alinea on a very busy night and brought their baby. Yeah, you know where it goes. The baby acted like a baby and it cried. Now, after service that night, because it's 2014, Chef Grant goes home and he does what most chefs were doing in 2014. He tweets about it. Yeah. Table brings 8-month-old. It cries. Diners mad. Tell people no kids. Subject diners to crying. People take infants to plays, concerts. Hate saying no, but look, it seems harmless, right? Pass right on by it. No big deal. Wrong! It's 2014 and we're on Twitter. And the very next day, that baby started its own Twitter account, the Alinea Baby Twitter account, and it fired back at Chef Grant, and the back and forth between the two became nothing but legend and lore. I'm such a fan of this Baby Alinea Twitter account. I put together a list of like my top 5 favorite Alinea Baby tweets. Can I show you guys really quick? I'll go through them really fast, okay? All right, here we go. My top 5 favorite Baby Alinea Twitter account tweets. Ready? Number 5, parents took me to Chuck E. Cheese. My review, no ambiance, no service standards, no story arc. We went home. Hashtag Miss Alinea. Number 4, more chefs need to be pureeing. There's just something about a pureed carrot that just revs my engine. Because it's a baby. You get it? Number 3, I cried for 15 minutes because someone at the table next to me said, I don't really get tasting menus. What do you mean you don't get tasting menus, Susan? It's sassy, baby. My number 2 favorite Alinea Baby tweet, retweet if you know where the grown-ups go during peekaboo. That's a cute one. And my number 1 favorite Baby Alinea tweet, yes, I cried in the dining room, but at least I didn't clap when the plane landed. It's rather cute, right? Listen, in the end, I know that Chef Grant and the baby ended up on really good terms and everything worked out right. But in honor of Alinea turning 20 years old and the fact that Chef Grant is in house tonight, and you know, we here at the Banchets, we love a full circle moment, right? So you know I went out and found him. Ladies and gentlemen in the audience tonight, the Alinea baby. Give it up. That's right. That's right. They grow up so fast, don't they, Chef? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Yeah, well, Chef Grant, we're so excited to have you here tonight and to give you the Culinary Excellence Award of the Year later in tonight's show. So thank you so much for being here tonight. So Chicago also saw some huge openings this year. Creepy's, Cafe Yaya, Il Carciofo, right? These are huge. Also, 2025, I think, was the unofficial year of the tiger. Not according to the Chinese zodiac, but definitely according to Crying Tiger, Lilac Tiger, and Mr. Tiger, right? Which you should be happy that it's not 2020 or we'd have the Tiger King experience. But with openings do come closings, sad reminders of this fickle business we all love so much. Yeah, we lost a bunch. Violet Hour, Dear Margaret, and a huge piece of my Chicago hospitality heart died when I had learned that Le Nomade had just had its last service. Is that Mary Beth? Yep, there she is. How about a round of applause for our friend Mary Beth? Yeah, Kev? But before you guys get too emotional, just remember this. Japanese sushi legend Jiro Ono turned 100 years old this year. That's right. And he has no plans of retiring. My God, Jiro dreams of sushi. More like Jiro dreams of applesauce, I would think, right? You didn't like that one? I like that one. Well, 2025 was also the year of the zero-proof cocktail and alcohol-removed wine. Apparently very popular with Gen Z. Yeah, I don't understand it either, to be honest with you. I mean, listen, do I wish that like wide-leg jeans weren't coming back into style? Yes, I threw all away my baggy pants after we survived Y2K. Also, I believe that everybody deserves a drink every once in a while. You should be drinking, not recklessly, but spiritually. Everybody needs a drink. Why should you deny yourself one of the greatest human discoveries of all time? Good conversation and the ability to say what's actually on your mind. Because cocktails built apologies and beer built friendship and, well, wine built the entire civilization, don't you think? Meanwhile, our industry continues to fight against CPD. Yeah, cell phone diners, which I think is so sad because dining rooms are the last environment that engulf all of your senses, and yet there we are staring at these glowing rectangles, taking pictures of our food as if it's evidence in a trial. But some of our chefs in-house tonight have found great amounts of success through those same cell phones, garnering huge followings on TikTok, like Feld's chef Jake Potashnik. Apparently, if getting a Michelin star doesn't get you enough attention, a day in the life of the head chef will get you 10.9 billion views. Very successful. That was a made-up number. It's a joke. You can laugh. And then there's AI. Oh my God, AI is everywhere. It's in our computer system. It's doing our inventories. It's answering our telephones. It's absolutely amazing. Some chefs are even using it to start tinkering around with their menus. Chef Jenner Tomasco was interviewed in the New York Times this year about using ChatGPT to work on a dish. And I think I'm all for it. I mean, I think AI is the future, and I just think that you should all be using my new money-making scheme, Chef GPT, which is going to be really good. I'm going to prompt it in the way, fix this menu, but, pretend like I'm already pissed, or something like that. I think so. But you can't let AI take over restaurants completely, honestly, because nothing is going to replace the sweet, sweet sound of a waiter behind you saying, we're 86 scallops, right? So AI can have a part in what we do, but I promise you, Chicago restaurants are made with human hands, human hearts, and that is something that no robot can replace, yes? Yes. Hey, another trend this year, people be writing books. Oh my gosh, Kevin Bain, the Malnati's, they're everywhere. Look, I was super, super inspired by this. So I went to work on a children's book or a book for young readers and young hospitality workers called The Line Cook That Couldn't Stop Smoking. You just have a little bit of, there's a lot of value in there. There's going to be some good lessons learned. It's going to teach the youngins how to do it. I think it's going to be a huge success, right? Restaurant design, I love the artwork. Restaurant design had a huge year this year. Restaurants are looking so sexy now. Lavish textures, maximalism, beautiful bathrooms. Yes, I'm talking about you, Gus's Munch and Crunch, wherever you are, boys. And my favorite design detail of this year, believe it or not, Chicago got together and wanted to let everybody else know just about exactly where we stand. And I loved it. Yes. But for all the trends and all the tech, one thing never changes. Chicago takes care of its own. When the government shut down and SNAP benefits were threatened, Chicago restaurants stepped up by offering meals and community support because that is who we are. Absolutely. Yeah, of course. Because that's who we are. Chicago hospitality is about excellence, yes, but it's also about humanity, right? And so, tonight, I want you to celebrate the brilliance, the resilience, and yes, the beautiful chaos that goes into making everything that our community is. Let's honor everyone and all of our nominees tonight. Welcome to the 2026 Banchet Awards, you guys. Now, remember, if you win a Banchet Award this evening, I want you to hold on to it tight because if you can manage to win 2 more, I think you can trade all 3 of those in for one James Beard nomination. All right, is everybody feeling emotionally stable? You guys slightly hydrated? I know the answer is no to most of those questions before I ask, so I guess we'll just go ahead and get on started. Here to present the award for Rising Chef of the Year. Please welcome, yes, absolutely, welcome from Open Table, Daniel Snyderman, and 2 times James Beard Award winner, Chef Sarah Stegner.
Good evening. It's an honor to be here presenting the first award of the evening, Rising Chef of the Year. These nominees are the next generation of culinary leaders, and I am thrilled to be honoring them.
These talented nominees achieved so much before this nomination. They climbed the ranks from culinary school to cooking on the line, perfecting their voices as titles change from sous to executive. But Rising Chef that has already risen a lot is kind of a mouthful, so we'll go with Rising Chef.
And the nominees for Rising Chef of the Year are
Alex Cochran. At Cellar Door Provisions, he has taken things up a notch. The creativity on display on their ever-changing, always improving menu would be impressive for a chef at any stage in their career. Trained in both fine dining and artisanal bread making, Cochran brings seasonality and distinctly Midwestern voice to the kitchen.
Bailey Sullivan. From top chef to ramen battles, and finally to the executive chef of Monteverde, Sullivan represents the spirit of curiosity that led many of us into the kitchen in the first place. We all benefit from her passion for global technique and unexpected ingredients.
Cesar Murillo. Murillo's culinary journey has taken him from Chihuahua, Mexico to Texas, Top Chef, and lucky for us, Chicago. Cesar has made a huge impact at North Pond, highlighting hyper-seasonal local ingredients in Lincoln Park, which is impressive for a chef of any age, considering we're in the Midwest. That, and he runs marathons.
Goals. And our next nominee is Javanica Jacobs. Jacobs brings to Frontera Grill a wealth of knowledge, not just from Le Cordon Bleu, but a childhood spent in family and friends' kitchens, soaking up the experience of community that cooking provides. Her food is full circle, thoughtful and soulful. No wonder she won Chopped.
And tonight we honor these new voices in our community.
All of these nominees are worthy of celebration, but only one of them will win the Jean Banchet Award for Rising Chef of the Year, which I hear is equivalent to 65,000 open table points.
Yeah, that depends on the current exchange rate.
Congratulations to all the nominees. And the winner is Javanica Jacobs.
Well, I'm just so excited and so humbled. This is a dream come true, and I'd like to share a story with you all. So when I first started in the culinary scene, I was still in culinary school, and I knocked on the doors of 20 different restaurants, all to be offered with one position as a dishwasher. And I kept my head up, and I eventually landed at Frontera Grill. So I just want to say thank you to Frontera Grill for turning my passion into my profession. And I just want to thank Rick Bayless for always being a mentor and everything you do for the community. I learned so much there. And to Richard James, my co-chef, thank you. You seen potential in me when I walked into the doors, and you took me under your wings. And then Zach, He's not only the culinary director of the group, but you've been a witness to my entire career. So I thank you. Thank you, everyone.
So before we move on to our next award, we've got to celebrate the person that's going to be giving them out all night. She won Sommelier of the Year way back in 2025, and she's back on stage with us tonight. Would you please welcome from SKY, La Mistral, Apollonia, Valhalla, give a big Banchet booyah to our award giver this evening, Yelena Pardon. Now, Chicago runs on neighborhoods, and each one of them insists that their local restaurants are better than anybody else's. And to be honest, I agree with all of them. So here to present the award for Best Neighborhood Restaurant, please welcome from Morgan Lennon Alden Sr. and a guy who knows that everything dope in America comes from Chicago. Please welcome Sherman Dilla Thomas.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Alden Sr. from Morgan Lennon, and tonight we get to honor one of the most essential parts of Chicago's dining landscape, the neighborhood restaurant.
And I'm Sherman Dilla Thomas, Chicago's preeminent urban historian, and I can explain everything about the neighborhoods of Bronzeville and Roseland and Rogers Park before the light turns green.
It's true. He did it backstage for me and my wife, and I'm still processing.
Right. Well, Chicago's a city built on neighborhoods, 77 of them to be exact, each with its own flavor and identity, but you don't understand the neighborhoods based on a map.
You start with the restaurant on the corner.
Exactly. Neighborhood restaurants are where stories get shared, where culture and family comes together, where regulars become your family. They're the backbone of Chicago dining, and even if they don't always make the headlines, they matter.
And look, we all love big-name chefs and the fancy restaurants downtown. I know I do. But these restaurant neighborhood spots serve thousands of people every week. They're getting kids through finals, parents through long days, and everyone through Chicago winters.
Like today, for sure. Tonight's nominees represent the heart of their communities. They feed us, they comfort us, they remind us why not only does Chicago have the greatest food on earth, but why everything dope about America comes from Chicago.
The nominees for Best Neighborhood Restaurant are Bungalow by Middlebrow, Coda del Volpe, Mahari, and Maplewood Brewing and Distillery Lounge.
And before I announce the winner, to not get us both in trouble, we both want to say how beautiful and awesome our wives are tonight.
Yes.
That matters. And the best neighborhood restaurant goes to Mahari.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for honoring us tonight. We're so happy to be here tonight. It's been an amazing journey. We just celebrated our 1-year anniversary on 1/17. This is a part of my core team here. We're all family. We're all from the South Side. I was born in Hyde Park, so. I do want to thank a couple people. Say something really quickly. Again, my name is Raheem Muhammad. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, but my mother settled us here in Chicago, and we wanted to bring some of that flavor here. So we're a Creole and African diaspora fusion restaurant. I do want to thank Almighty God, first and foremost, for blessing us with the opportunity, for blessing me with the passion. Thank you for my mother for instilling discipline and good food from Louisiana in my bones and blood. I want to thank the Banchet Awards for recognizing people who are just working hard. We're not from any large family or money. We're just from the street, the Chicago streets, and we bring elegance to where we're from now. Also, I'm just happy that my mother brought me to Chicago. It's an amazing city filled with all type of people. I've met so many people and touched so many people. It's just an amazing time to be here. I want to thank some of my mentors. Starting out very young, after Le Cordon Bleu, I went to work for Chef Art Smith at Table 52. And I have some chefs here that are from there as well that taught me a lot. I want to thank Michael Van, who is from Shark Bar in New York. He's a great mentor of mine. Also, Chef Christopher Murray and Cliff Rome, they're from the South Side, great chefs. And I just wanted to thank you all for being here. I know we don't have a lot of time, but this is a blessing. We're all grateful for being here. Thank you so much.
Chicago is a city where you can go out to eat every single night and go somewhere different and never get bored. And I'm pretty sure it's because most of our chefs think that opening restaurants is like taking up a casual activity like pottery or something. Here to present the award for Best New Restaurant, would you please welcome Michelin-starred chef Jenner Tomaska, and from the Illinois Restaurant Association and Chicago Gourmet, our own Sam Toya.
Good evening. It's an honor to be here tonight representing the Illinois Restaurant Association and giving out the honor of the best new restaurant here in the culinary capital of the United States. Yes, yes, come on.
You know, Sam, the kinds of resources you provide are so valuable to new restaurants like Petite Edith and tonight's nominees.
So, thanks, Chef. You're right. Opening a new restaurant can be hard. And at the Illinois Restaurant Association, we try to do everything we can to support you. We can help you navigate through City Hall. That can be a little rough sometime, right, Chef? From the zoning department to the health department to the business affairs and community protection. And I'm even able to help with the taste test of your new menu items.
Next time I have trouble with the liquor license, I'll call you.
Oh, please do. Please do.
You know, we always have a seat for you at Petite Edith anytime. A lot of us in the room can attest, opening a restaurant is a journey. It's easy to get in the weeds with all the details from the back of the house supplies to payroll and the front of house furniture.
The 2026 nominees for Best New Restaurants are evidence that on the other side of the journey lies a chance to thrive as a restaurant. They've established spaces in the hospitality industry where artists in the kitchen can express themselves and where diners can come together.
They might be new, but they're here to stay. The nominees for Best New Restaurant are Cafe Yaya, Feld, Joe, don't kill me, El Carciofo, and Void.
And the winner is Feld.
Cool. First of all, thank you to the Banchet committee. This really means a lot. Let's see. I want to thank my team. They've pretty much all been with me from the start, which means so much. So it's Austin, Alex, Carol, Eric, Randy, Micah, and of course Nathan Duder, who makes Feld happen. my partner Sophie, who's I cannot recommend enough having a partner who gives you unconditional love if you do the hardest thing of your entire life. What else? Oh yeah, you know, the story of Feld I don't think is a secret, and when things were at their hardest, this is an event about Chicago culinary community, and it really was the Chicago culinary community who came to support us, and chefs who are here tonight, like John Mannion and Paul Varant and Otto Kyoten and Ethan Lim and Ashley Albin, like these amazing people, and I publicly supported or privately supported, like Chef Achatz did, and it just meant so much to have the community reach out and help us get through what was a difficult time to now, which things are going good. You know, the easiest thing in the world is commenting from behind a keyboard. Far harder is getting up each day and putting in the work, and this whole room is people who get up every day and put in the work, and so I really appreciate you all for that, and I'll end it on, I'm not supposed to swear, I guess, so screw ice and bear down.
I knew we'd get at least one. From the new to the legendary, tonight we introduce a brand new honor, Iconic Restaurant of the Year. This honor was created to recognize the rare institutions that not only have stood the test of time, but helped define the Chicago dining landscape. To be a mainstay in our city for 25 years or more is no small feat. It requires resilience, evolution, and a deep understanding of the community for which you serve. Our first ever recipient is a place woven into the fabric of our city for more than 8 decades. Tonight, we honor a true Chicago icon, Gene and Georgetti. To help us honor them, would you please welcome from Rare Tea Cellar, Roderick Marcus, the chef owner from Lula Cafe, Jason Hamill, and the breakfast queen herself, Ina Pinkney.
Gene and Georgetti has never just been about steak. They exemplify showing up every single day, doing things the right way, even when it was hard, even when no one was watching.
They've endured for generations by understanding something timeless. Hospitality is a responsibility. When someone walks through your doors, they're trusting you with a moment of their life, a celebration, a conversation, a deal, a first date, even a goodbye. It's a family value in a family restaurant.
From quiet dinners that meant more than anyone realized, and especially to me when I moved here in 1977, and my loving and brilliant husband knew the best way for us to transition to being Chicagoans was to take me for my very first meal at Gene and Georgetti's. Aww. I know. It was that night that I fell in love with him even more, and I fell in love with Gene and Georgetti's, and I fell in love with Chicago. There were proposals at the next table that changed lives. That dining room has seen everything, and everyone is treated with the same respect, the same consistency, and warmth.
Gene Michelotti and Alfredo Federighi, aka Georgetti, built the place on the belief that if you took care of people, they would come back. That belief carried forward through generations, especially through Gene's son-in-law, Tony Dupretti. Tony believed deeply in hard work, loyalty, and the responsibility that comes with being a family-owned business. To Tony, every guest mattered.
At Gene and Georgetti's, legacy isn't something you talk about. It's something you earn. Night after night, plate after plate, they set the gold standard for independent restaurants, places where names are remembered and relationships mattered.
As Gene said, we take our loaf of bread one sandwich at a time. They've evolved with the city, intentionally, and always with heart.
Restaurants like this do not survive because of nostalgia.
or because things don't change. They survive because of people, the teams who care, the guests who return time and again, the family who has given so much to keep it going, and a shared belief that ultimately hospitality matters.
So please, let's give a huge round of applause to the 2026 Iconic Restaurant of the Year, Gene and Georgetti.
No one comes up. You're done. Yep, you're good. Thanks, you guys. Wow. They thought somebody was coming up. Nobody's coming up. Now, our next award is particularly close to my heart. It's the award for Sommelier of the Year. That's right, Somms. The only person that can walk by a table, pick up a cork, smell it, and know everything about your soul. Here to present the award for Sommelier of the Year, would you please welcome the incredible Chef Paul Verant and Master Sommelier Serafin Alvarado.
Good evening, everyone. Some things just go together like PB&J or the beach in a pair of linen trousers.
Or like a chef and a sommelier, like us, Paul. A chef like yourself crafts a dish, put it together creativity and heart onto the plate.
And the sommelier like you finds that perfect glass to pair it with. It leads to an experience greater than either could do alone.
Now, let's face it, we're talking a lot about chefs tonight, and the Somms, though, they're on a constant journey of a wine education and hospitality enlightenment. And now is their time to shine.
The nominees in this category exemplify hospitality. Not only are they working collaboratively with their chef partners, but they are in the front of the house. They are running food and translating an entire vineyard into that single perfect sip.
Somms are also guiding guests, calming chefs, educating staff, building incredible lists, and smiling through every request for, do you have something sweet but also dry?
Their passion elevates every meal. Their knowledge deepens every dining experience. They make us feel welcome, understood, and occasionally just a tiny bit tipsy.
So let's raise a glass to the people who turn fermented grapes into magic.
Here are the nominees for Sommelier of the Year: Alex Cooper, Elche Bracero, Emily Shear, Elska, and Creepies, Jonas Bittencourt from Class Act, and Owen Huzar, John's Food and Wine. Congratulations. That's it. Do the honors.
And the winner is... Alex Cooper.
Alex Cooper.
Elche Bracero.
Cool. Definitely shooting from the hip here on this one. But yeah, thank you all for this whole thing. I do want to give a special thank you to Chef John Mannion for letting me just kind of dive deep into something that was a little absurd and putting up with all that. Thanks to Paul Verant, too, for being here for this and always being a supporter of that. And thank you for everyone else. I hope you all just drink South American wine and love it and have a good time. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Congratulations, Som. Somms, truly the backbone of every restaurant. And speaking of backbones, counter service. That's right. Counter service. These are the places that are feeding Chicagoans day in and day out. No attitude, no reservations, just incredibly delicious food at speeds that defy the laws of physics. Here to present the award for Best Counter Service is Bryce Lawman from Toast and Bridgeport's favorite butcher, Chef Kevin Hickey.
Chicago is a town of great restaurants. There's no disputing that. But we also know that the lifeblood of this restaurant scene are the corner shops where you can get a sandwich, taco, or a donut that will knock your socks off.
Speaking of socks, probably nobody in here is wearing socks. It's Chicago, so we're lucky we're not wearing shorts.
Fair enough. But here, it's not just all Chicago-style hot dogs, beef sandwiches, and bears.
Absolutely true. We're so much more than that. We actually have hot dogs that have duck fat in them.
Right. The nominees for Best Counter Service, for instance, represent a culinary spirit spanning cultures from the Philippines to Mexico and California. They're doing Indonesian food, and they're doing barbecue. We're so lucky to have this vibrant casual dining scene.
And what's most important about these nominees is they're providing something that has become a little tough to come by these days, authentic hospitality. Even if the experience is a little shorter than, say, having a whole rotisserie duck at a charming little neighborhood joint on the south side that's open for dinner every night at 5 p.m., brunch at 10:30 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays, and the best industry Sunday in Chicago. Just as an example.
That's a great example. Well, we're honored to present the award for Best Counter Service.
And the nominees are Kanen, Rendang Republic, Sanders Barbecue Supply, Taquizas Valdez,
And the winner is Sanders Barbecue Supply.
Honestly, it's going to come straight from the heart. You got it. This whole concept started like 10 years ago, and it's been a brainchild for me forever. I started off with a small Weber grill in my backyard, just cooking every weekend for my friends and taking the criticism and everything like that. But I am truly blessed with an amazing team. Oh, man. This has been a great year for us, so I'm just thankful to be here. Thank you for the Banchet Awards. I'm thankful for my pit master, my brother from another mother, Nick Kluch. Thank you.
I want to say thank you to James and OB for the opportunity, to all our staff, both past and present, that have made this a reality for us. My family for believing in this dream, and all the customers who have turned that dream into a career for us. So thank you, guys.
I'm not going to lie, we're this far into the show, and that's the first one of you guys to tear up. I'm starting to get a little bummed out. Let's talk about hospitality, that thing that makes dining magical, the thing that makes you feel super welcome. Even when the entire kitchen's on fire, most of the front of house is in the weeds, and somebody just dropped a big tray of espresso teenies all over the floor. Here to present the award for Best Hospitality, please welcome from Aquapana, Jack Galovic, and from Chicago's famed Wiener Circle, Poochie Rollins.
evening, everyone. Tonight, we honor one of the most essential pillars of our industry, hospitality. The art of making every guest feel seen, cared for, understood. A philosophy built on warmth, generosity, and genuine human connection.
Okay, hold on. Why wasn't my restaurant nominated then?
Well, Poochie, the Winner Circle is, how do I put this politely, a unique representation of hospitality.
Unique. Baby, people fly here from all out of town just to come get a hot dog so I can yell at them. Now, that's love, that's service, that is what you call guest engagement.
I suppose that is a form of engagement, yes.
Let me tell you something. Okay, nobody forgets their experience, and nobody forgets a chocolate shake. Isn't that what hospitality is all about?
In some ways, yes. But traditionally, hospitality is about nurturing the guest, anticipating their needs, creating an atmosphere of comfort and care.
Comfort. Honey, I give comfort. You ever seen a grown man come in to get a perfectly grilled char dog and verbal dragon at the same time? He leaves happy.
Well, Poochie, perhaps we are simply working at two ends of the same spectrum.
Yeah, your end is soft and serene. My end is loud and correct.
In that case, maybe we should agree to disagree on our methods.
Oh, we could disagree, but just know I better be nominated next year. I'm expanding my hospitality program. Going to start yelling in French. You know, very elevated.
Well, until that day comes, we are here to honor restaurants who exemplify exceptional hospitality, the warmth, care, and service that define our industry at its very best. The nominees for Best Hospitality are Asador Bastien, Feld, Mignoli, Perilla Fair.
And the winner is Feld.
All right. Wow. I'm humbled to accept this on behalf of the Feld team. Randy, Brandy, Micah, Rolf, Eric, Carol, Austin, Alex, and of course Chef Jake. Watching this team of cooks forge, hone, and sharpen their sort of instinctual sense of hospitality has been one of the most joyful moments of my career, and I cannot thank them enough for that. I have to admit also that in this category, I feel a superlative like best is particularly odd. Chicago's industry functions collectively in the service we provide, and only through that collective can we truly meet every guest where they are at every stage of life for comfort or indulgence, in joy and in grief, and together or alone. Thank you to the Banchet Committee. Thank you so much to my partner, Judy, who allows me to do this. Feld is good.
Come over.
Yeah, that's good. I want him as a food runner. It looks really good. So we've celebrated so many incredible achievements tonight, but now I'd like to take a minute to reflect. The Chicago hospitality community is a family. Big, messy, super dysfunctional, yes, but a family nonetheless. And every year we honor and say goodbye to so many people that have shaped it. To help us do so, please welcome James Beard award-winning food writer and author of the forthcoming book, The Chicago Way, An Oral History of Chicago Dining. Please welcome Michael Gebert.
Anybody working in a restaurant today is at the end of a long line of Chicago food history. Mentors upon mentors, going back to the beginning of restaurants in Chicago. We remember the people who passed this year, who were a step on that legacy of knowledge and passed it along to the people sitting here tonight. Chiapetti's veal and lamb is the last processor in the legendary Chicago stockyards. But third generation Steve Chiapetti didn't just want to be at the start of the food chain. He wanted to be the chef who made art out of it. He learned his trade at Kendall College and at the dining room in the Ritz-Carlton, then made his name as a chef at 80s and 90s restaurants like Mango and Grapes, getting a James Beard nomination for Rising Chef in 1997. He was the chef at the Albert in the Hotel EMC2 when he died at the end of last year at 58. Everybody's eaten at Leona's, but then there's Leonard Ben Toya, who liked Leona's so much that he married the owner's daughter. By the 1970s, he was the boss, expanding Leona's to a dozen locations around Chicagoland. Along the way, he inspired his son, Sam, to continue his restaurant industry legacy as president of the Illinois Restaurant Association. Ben Toya sold Leona's in 2013 and died at 94 in May. Sophia Solomon believed in cheese. She helped spread the word and availability of both imported and Midwestern artisanal cheeses from small producers, along with caviar, smoked salmon, foie gras, and other specialty items. Just as importantly, she not only marketed Midwestern cheeses, but taught her customers how to handle them properly. In return, cheesemaker Judy Shad named an ash-marbled goat cheese for her, Sophia. Sophia Solomon died earlier in January at 78. Rick Grash went from his native Cleveland to the Culinary Institute of America and then arrived in Chicago to work on the line at a hot restaurant in Evanston called Trio. He worked at the Hotel Nico, Green Dolphin Street, where he was executive chef, and at David Burke's Prime House, and was part of the U.S. team at the Bocuse d'Or in France in 2004 and 2006. A craftsman at home as well as in kitchens, he showed off his handicrafts on social media, from handmade cutting boards to a beloved 1937 Oldsmobile hot rod. He died just before Christmas at age 50.
From honoring those in our industry, we shift now to support the people who keep it alive today. The Giving Kitchen does extraordinary work for hospitality professionals in crisis. What started as a fight for one life is now the fight for thousands of food servers nationwide. The funds donated by the Banchet Awards are earmarks for Giving Kitchen's efforts in Illinois. They do incredible things here. In fact, they've already distributed over $80,000 in Illinois just last year alone. And it is with great pride that we here at the Banchet Awards support the Giving Kitchen in their cause. You may applaud. This next award supports the bars and beverage programs that keep our industry lubricated. You know who you are. Here to present the award for Best Bar of the Year, would you please welcome from Velocity Black our friend Fawn Mathers and the guy who's won all the different kinds of JBAs from One Off Hospitality here, Donnie Medea.
Yo. That was a tough transition. Thank you. Good evening. It's a thrill to be presenting the award for Best Bar of the Year.
It's such a privilege to be here with this who's who of high-performing Chicago hospitality. And you know, I'm no stranger to asking a guest to get a drink at the bar while we get their table ready, because I'm a former maitre d' myself.
You did a great job, by the way. So it must be great to be back amongst all your people.
Absolutely. I love the restaurant industry. It's what attracted me to work with Velocity Black, where our VIP concierge app helps users get incredible access to travel and dining experiences. kind of like when I used to help my guests score Lakers tickets.
Man, I got to get some of those bad boys. And you have been supporting Chicago restaurants since day one. We had a great time at One Off with Velocity Black as our partnership.
Well, of course, your family, and nothing connects like a cocktail. Whether you're having dinner with your buddy at Nancy Silverton in LA, or at our new speakeasy in Austin at the Moody Center, or having drinks served to you by character actor Jeremy Irons inside the Bean.
Wait a minute, whoa. Is that last thing also Velocity Black?
Well, no, but let's not get distracted. We have an award to present at this sexy exclusive award show. This show would actually be perfect for some of our members. Maybe in 2027, we can maybe come back. I have some
Okay.
Sorry.
Don't you get distracted on me. We have 4 incredible nominees for Best Bar, each showcasing incredible hospitality, each a destination in their own right.
You can travel the world with Velocity Black, but nothing beats a Chicago bar. The nominees for Bar of the Year are Cantina Rosa, Maria Rodriguez. Daisy's Nicole Yarovinsky. Elska Monica Casillas Rios. And Gus's Sip and Dip, Kevin Beery, and Scott Kitzmiller.
And the winner is? Should we do it simultaneously?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Gus's Sip and Dip, Kevin Beery, and Scott Kitzmiller.
Woo!
First of all, thank you to the Banchet Awards. It is incredible to be back up on the stage again. Running a bar like Gus's Sip and Dip really takes a team effort, and it's an incredible challenge day in and day out to create incredible, affordable cocktails for folks to come in and enjoy with us, and that takes a team. So before we get ahead of ourselves, because we're live on NBC tonight, I want to just give some recognition to my entire team. I've got my bartenders, Danny, Clint, Cam, Viviana, Eddie, Dan, and Jacob. My managers, Carly, Tyler, Gabby, and Q. My cocktail servers, Ko, Kelda, Maddie, Sarah, Gigi, Liz, and Alyssa. Chefs in the kitchen, we have Bob Browski making incredible bar cuisine with Todd Hawksmore. My business partners, Rich, Chris, RJ, Jared, Amrit, Jeff, Matt, Dana, and Ty. It's really incredible, and it takes an entire team to get it done.
You know, it's truly an honor to be up here with, around nominees, all incredibly bar programs. I think right now the city of Chicago especially is going through a kind of really awesome scene within the beverage and cocktail scene across the board. And obviously we're super stoked to be nominated and be up here standing on the stage with this. When we opened Gus's, we wanted to create a bar that we wanted to drink at, right? We wanted to create a spot that was for everyone and always approachable and always there. And we've been stoked that the community's really kind of been vibing with it. So here we are now. But thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thanks.
That's great. The best part is Dave, Johnny, Carrie, they're all here tonight. They're all in-house. Now we turn to heritage, cuisine rooted in tradition, in memory, and in culture. The dishes that connect us to something bigger. And let me say this because I say it every year, in this category, do not get caught sleeping on the suburbs. Here to present the award for Heritage Restaurant of the Year, would you please welcome from Spotlight Chicago on WGN, Ji Suk Yi, and from San Pellegrino, Christine D'Souza.
Oh my goodness. First off, I just want to say thank you. Y'all and your teams are amazing. Your jobs are so hard. The work you do means so much. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We know it's not easy. That's why it's such an honor to help present an award that celebrates some of the most meaningful and deeply rooted places in our food community, heritage restaurants.
At our best, restaurants do more than feed us. They connect us. They preserve stories, traditions, and flavors that might otherwise be lost.
Heritage restaurants are where culture lives and breathes, where recipes are passed down, where families gather, and where communities come to feel seen and celebrated.
And yes, a few of these places are right here in the city, but don't forget about the suburbs. 2 of tonight's nominees prove you don't have to be downtown to make an unforgettable impact. Sometimes the most extraordinary meals come from the most unexpected corners of Chicagoland.
Now, these restaurants are the heartbeat of their neighborhoods and sometimes entire cultures, offering comfort, identity, and a sense of belonging in every dish.
Their food invites us to experience someone else's story, and somehow it becomes a part of our own.
The nominees for Best Heritage Restaurant are Madakon, Nine Garden, Tesfa Ethiopian Cuisine, and Torizen.
And the winner is Nine Garden.
Woo!
Wow, that's a lot of you. Thank you so much for this honor. As an Asian restaurant operator for almost 20 years, this means a lot to us. Our mission has always been to preserve tradition while making food from scratch, honoring regional flavors, and sharing our culture through food. I want to thank you for the Banchet Award for recognizing and celebrating heritage. I want to thank our teams, hardworking teams, chefs, my family, and all the loyal guests who celebrate heritage dining. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Now, like any great meal, we need a palate cleanser. And in a city known for architecture, food, and comedy, well, we don't bring out like a mint sorbet. We bring out a bird. And not just any bird, a bird with some opinions. Chad the Bird is the commentarian for the legendary Paper Machete show at the infamous Green Mill. Chad has spent years giving this city the commentary it deserves on current events, pop culture, politics, and everything in between, all from a bird's eye view. Please welcome to the stage the absolutely hysterical, you're so lucky to have him, Chad the Bird.
My name is Chad, and I am a bird. It is indeed a privilege to be allowed to speak here tonight. Thank you for the opportunity. I will try to keep the foul language to a minimum, but you know that's kind of already baked in. Speaking of baked, I figure right about now you're probably wondering if I'm better braised, buttered, fried, or roasted with a little rosemary. Not that I don't understand. I slept too close to a radiator once. I woke up, it smelled delicious. I get it. Still, it is an honor, and I can only hope, having come off the holidays, that you're a little tired of festive geese and pheasant. So as long as everyone here is going to be real cool, I am honored to speak on behalf of poultry. Virginia Woolf once said, "One cannot think well, love well, sleep well if one has not dined well." Orson Welles expounded, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what's for lunch." J.R.R. Tolkien once pondered aloud over his lengthy pipe whilst reclining neath the Pinus nigra, if more of us valued food and cheer and song above hoarded gold, it would be a merrier world. Why, I believe it was the great philosopher Dominique de Louise that once said, when I was 14, I decided I could cook. It was either that or puberty. Food! Glorious food! Nothing brings the flock together better and faster. More than most species, us of the avian persuasion have long been aware of the human interest in hot eats, cool treats, and gourmet. And no city has had its eyes on good food harder than Chicago. So I feel uniquely qualified to speak here tonight because of all things, I am a Chicago bird. Chicago! Known around the globe for a time as the meat packer of the world, immortalized by Carl Sandburg as a city stormy, husky, and brawling of big shoulders, actually kind of had its hand in haute cuisine alongside its dipped beef persona. From the early days of James Kinsey's Wolf Point Tavern in 1828, the Lake House of 1835, first introducing napkins and printed menus, Le Glan in 1926, first of its kind to be confidently fine dining in the city, all the way through 1973's Le Français from Jean Banchet. So nice, it rhymes. And of whom we honor here tonight, along with the future of gastronomy. Thanks to the way the media portrays Chicago, it comes as a shock to every guest from out of town that comes here to learn that Chicago is not just wet meats, shot beer combos, and you're not all former cops on one last case before retirement. But really, it should not be surprising at all that Chicago is actually very particular about its food. We'll proudly correct you that we eat tavern-style pizza, deep dishes for weddings. Strangers will ditch their kids just to give you directions to where the correct best beef really is. And out-of-towners would do well to not even mention the words hot dog and ketchup in the same sentence, lest you're forced to do a shot of Malort. Not just food, but nouvelle cuisine. The kind that Jean Banchet brought from the Playboy Club in Lake Geneva, where he could have just stayed back as an executive chef. But he knew there was a spirit and a taste in this city that once earned would be defended to the mat. Because this may be the home of the messiest beef, pizza that can crack a sidewalk, and Swedish dumpster schnapps. But it is also the land of Sainte Marie's the Bakery, Edgewater Beach Hotel's Marine Dining Room, the jewel of the North Shore, the Palmer House, home to the greatest banquet in American history in 1879, Charlie Trotter's, Girl and the Goat, Acheval, Virtue, Chemistry, El Ideas, Cerdero Muerto, Morisco, San Pedro, Tredita, and on and on. Our reputation might be rough, but it's never hard to find a place for fine dining. Culinarily culminating here, because in this room tonight is the fighting spirit. Bold sluggers set vivid against the little soft cities, as stormy, husky, brawling, big-shouldered as Carl Sandburg's poem would assume would be, about the prep, the fire, the seasoning, and presentation. All of that, and you can still shoot Malort. Anyway, since you're now all thinking about hot meats and sauces right now, I'm going to roll out before I end up on a roll. Thank you for having me, but not having me. And congratulations to all of you who made it here, because you're all good enough, strong enough, and hard enough to say you're cooking in Chicago. And on behalf of the poultry, may I say, it would be an honor to be served by you. Congratulations. Thank you for having me. Good night.
Good, everybody. I made that decision for me. I cared not whether you thought it was funny or whatever. I'm a huge fan of his. I think he's absolutely hysterical. You guys got to trust me. That is one bird you do not want to try in spatchcock, for sure. Anyway, speaking of things you need to see to appreciate, design. Restaurant design is the first bite you take even before you sit down. And in Chicago, sometimes the only part diners photograph before eating everything. Here to present the award for Best Restaurant Design is the reason you don't see any critters in any of those photos. From Landmark Pest Management, please welcome the brilliant Rebecca Fife and award-winning travel writer, Jennifer Billock.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Fife, founder of Landmark Pest Management. We're the only pest control company in the United States to ever win a federal award for innovation. So while we're headquartered right here in Cook County and we're woman-owned, woo, thank you, we're objectively ranked as the best pest control firm in the United States. And we do the pest control for 250 of the best restaurants in Chicago. So I'm here tonight to support my clients, and it's an honor to co-present with award-winning travel writer Jennifer Billock. Jennifer is renowned for tyromancy. Jennifer, what exactly is tyromancy?
Tyromancy is fortune telling with cheese. In fact, I don't even need that envelope to tell who won this category. I have a slice of Roquefort right here, and by reading the features of the cheese, I can divine which restaurant won best design.
Jennifer, no. No, you have to use the envelope.
Fine.
But for guests who want their own fortunes read with cheese, you can find Jennifer on the 10th floor at the after party, surrounded by beautiful cheeses sponsored by Mariano's, where she'll be reading cheese.
That's right. Now let's get to the nominees, because also my cheese is melting, and that cannot bode well for anybody's future.
And the nominees for Best Restaurant Design are
Alinea Prime, Matilda, Noriko Hand Roll Bar, and the Alston.
We're going to use the envelope, and the winner is the Alston.
Well, I just want to say thank you to everyone at the Banchet Awards, all the nominees of the awards, including my friends at Alinea Prime, and all the guests here this evening. I specifically mention Alinea Prime because Alinea was my mother's name. What a fantastic honor this is for the Alston. My name is Nicholas Kuda, and together with my brother Tony, we were the financial designers of the Alston. Because without the necessary funding and the vision, design, and architectural creativity and expertise of our designer and architect, Heidi Leitner, as our co-partner on our team, we would not have achieved our design accomplishments. We have a massive, true 8K digital ceiling, allowing us the ability to display virtually anything at any time. 2 massive chandeliers in our main dining room. Top-tier kitchen and bar design, a members' lounge second to none exceeding Annabelle's in London. Our 4-season terrace sharing the benefits and eliminating the drawbacks of our Chicago seasons. And we have a state-of-the-art baby changing table, but he's gone. We love babies. Heidi, we and everyone at the Alston thank you for your vision and partnership to accomplish our spectacle and to add to the spectacle of food that Chicago is. We are all in this together, and it is up to each and every one of us to support each other and maintain friendships within our hospitality community, and to keep Chicago as the true food capital. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. This is such an honor. It's an amazing evening to be here with all of you. We go to architecture awards as well, and it's just really amazing to be in this environment. So congratulations to everyone, to all the nominees. We've made some great friends through this, so your work is beautiful as well. The Alston was a dream to design, every detail. It was so much fun, and it cannot happen without the owners, Nick and Tony, and those who supported the hospitality group 50/50 who runs it, and Chef Jenner, who I have loved working with alongside. We see the world in the same way of every single detail. He's working through the kitchen in that finesse, but then comes out to the front of the house to provide feedback. And it's all, everyone here knows that, but there's a lot of work that happens to make something so beautiful. It has to function beautifully, and it has to, the design obviously shines. But we're so thrilled today. Up with me is my design team internally, our firm, the contractor who built it, and all of the craftspeople who came together. There's so many details, and when you walk through a project like the Alston, the depth and layering of everyone who put all the pieces together, it's really remarkable. Thank you so much, Michael Muser, for for recognizing us, and the Banchets and everybody. So thank you so much. This is a true honor.
I know the sign says we're out of time, but I just want to say a couple of things. First of all, Mike Muser should be on late night TV. He's fantastic. He is a tremendous asset to this organization. Banchet is a tremendous organization. We thank you for the honor to have the best design restaurant. But not only do we have the best design restaurant, we have one of the greatest chefs of all time with Jenner. And I'm going to probably take about 20 minutes. We have about 125 employees that I want to name each one by name. Just kidding. But I want to thank all of our employees from the front of the house, the kitchen, the dishwashers. It took a while to get to know everybody because we got immersed with about 200 people all at once. So far, I've got just about 95% of everybody's names 7 or 8 months later. So we have an incredible restaurant, but most of all, the city is an incredible place for food. And each and everybody here that's been nominated, I salute you, and everybody that's been awarded, congratulations as well. Thank you.
You guys done or no? You don't want to do any more? Yeah, Tony, come on. I was so into it back there. Design has been removed. No, I'm just kidding. Design shapes the room. But our next honoree has reshaped the entire culinary landscape. A visionary, a trailblazer, a chef who made the entire world rethink what a restaurant could possibly be. Tonight, we get to honor the extraordinary Grant Achatz. To speak on such an icon, we brought in another icon, the man who was the voice of Chicago dining for decades. This man was the journalist who watched Grant's rise to meteoric levels, and so we thought it was only right to have him come and speak on his behalf. Would you please put your hands together and welcome the great and powerful Phil Vitale.
Looking out, I'm looking out here, I realize that a lot of people here tonight are too young to have experienced our honorees' early work. Obviously not my problem. I'm 70. And worse, I can only say that for another, 4 hours. But my approaching dotage does come with the institutional memory to describe what was going on at Trio in Evanston 25 years ago. The first dish Grant ever served me was an ice cream sandwich. But Grant being Grant, it consisted of Parmesan shortbread wafers around olive oil ice cream. And it was served with a glass of Amontillado because, of course it was. And then there was what I called a smithereened Bloody Mary, a dish of tomato confit with celery granita, Worcestershire gelée, and a dab of horseradish cream. And of course, the exploding black truffle, which I incorrectly predicted was a dish so sensational that Grant would never be able to take it off the menu. Clearly, I underestimated Grant's pushing the envelope resolve. But I was right when I told readers that this was the most boundary-stretching chef to hit town in a long, long time, and to remember his name and how to pronounce it, Achatz. Fast forward 3 years, and the entire dining world was awaiting the debut of Alinea. I wrote that the restaurant had already been previewed by every magazine except Tactical Knives and Cat Fancy. Actually, what I wrote originally was Tactical Knives and Barely Legal, which almost made it into the Tribune because the editor thought Barely Legal was a law magazine. Until somebody tipped her off. And for those who know what Barely Legal really is about, shame on you. Really, that's terrible. I wrote at the time, people don't want to know if Alinea is good, they want to know if it can possibly be this good. The answer, of course, was a resounding yes. Backed up by a slew of awards and more stars, hearts, and diamonds than a bowl of Lucky Charms. And for 20 years, the high praise had kept going uninterrupted. Well, there was this one guy, but he tried to sell me snow tires, so I don't know. 5 years later came Grant's well-known battle with cancer, during which he taught us all about determination, tenacity, and grace. That particular obstacle overcome, he opened Next, which dazzled us with culinary skill and meticulous scholarship, basing entire menus on the recipes of Escoffier, Ferran Adria, and ancient Rome. The dishes that stick with me most, though, are the ones evocative of Midwest flavors and memories. The fried ham on a pillar of lavender-scented air. The single-bite PB&J wrapped in toasted brioche. And a miniature three-course meal served in vintage school lunchboxes. Mine was Knight Rider, as I recall. One could argue that this chef belongs to the world and maybe the ages, but to me, he's ours. A Midwestern boy who for 20 years has been Chicago's standard bearer for culinary innovation and excellence. For years, you've been hearing about Grant Achatz from me, among others. And now let's hear about this truly great chef in his own words.
My parents had a small restaurant in a small town in Michigan. And so at a very young age, I was in the kitchen with them and just sort of fell in love with it. What surprised me the most was how Chicago accepted somebody from the outside. I have zero regrets on any creative risk. The only regret that I would have in terms of creativity is not having enough.
In 2002, as I was moving up here, I heard of this wonder kid named Chef Achatz. I looked him up and was just kind of blown away. I couldn't even fathom the food he was doing. So he was leaving Trio to open Alinea, and I was pumped.
After applying for a job with him maybe the 15th time, I was fortunate enough to work there with countless talented individuals in that kitchen.
I would walk in every day, and there'd be 70 people that were willing to do the same thing to end up with the same result, which was creativity and perfection. Nothing else mattered. I mean, we were working 17 hours a day, and it was intense. But man, the payoff. The phone ringing a year after we were open to have Ruth Rachel tell us that we were the best restaurant in the country. And I remember hanging up the phone, turning around, and looking at Fergus and John. And, man, we did it. Now what? Art is a language, and it evokes emotion. And for the longest time, there was a big debate whether chefs were artists and whether food should be art. But I think, as with everything, we evolve. Chefs are able to tell their life story through nostalgia, hitting all of the emotions. And that is, in fact, art. There's a lot of gratification in realizing that what we do is important and it moves people. There's an immense amount of joy from watching an idea, this little nugget that came out of one of our heads, become this. And then have somebody consume it, feel it, and smile. I would say probably the Black Truffle Explosion has the most sentimental value. It kind of put me on the map in Chicago. I think it was very indicative of the style of what we were trying to accomplish at that time, and still feels a bit timeless now. But it's really hard having those dishes, because at some point that jewel becomes your nemesis of creativity, because people come in every day. They want that Black Truffle Explosion. They want that balloon. They want that hot potato. So what do? Do you give the people what they want, or do you give yourself what you want? And that's a fine balance to find.
The food has changed, dramatically over the years to sort of keep elevating and keep learning. I think that's the biggest thing, just at the most basic idea of curiosity and finding out what you don't know.
The people who've learned from the philosophy that he's offered the culinary world, it taught you as a cook that anything is possible. And it was always like, well, what could it be?
His impact on the industry is really going to be measured by what we do now with the next generation coming up, educating them along the way, because he's left a mark on all of us.
Our ambition in 2005 was to become the best restaurant in the world. Today that remains. The chase never goes away. You have to have the grit, you have to have the desire, the passion to push through those adversities. I joke to the team whenever we have a bad night, I always say, oh, we've been through worse. Because if we can go through, the cancer that we had in 2007, we can pretty much get through anything, I think. I still find an immense amount of joy in coming to work every day and creating and being in service and plating food and connecting all of those dots at one time. It's rare that you ever are able to flood your mind with all of those simultaneously, but when you do, it's a really good feeling. It's a really satisfying feeling.
I am honored to introduce the winner of this year's Jean Banchet Award for Culinary Excellence and our hometown hero, Mr. Grant Achatz.
Thank you. I think these are required for a Lifetime Achievement Award. Thank you, Michael. Thank you for the Banchet Awards. Thank all of you. What an honor to be awarded a Lifetime Achievement Award by the Banchet Awards, and it's surprising. Let me get right to it here. I'm sorry. I have this written down because I figured I would probably forget. 25 years ago, I landed at Trio in Evanston, as Phil mentioned. I was 26 years old. I had left the French Laundry determined but incredibly naive. I thought I knew everything, and I had nothing to lose. Reflecting on the 25 years since then, I realized I knew very little, and I had everything to lose. To me, this career and my name are woven so tightly together that they are one and the same. It has been full of wins, lots of losses, countless guests and team members, and the realization that it is an extraordinarily rarefied space to wake up every day and eagerly race to work, to make full memories for our guests and ourselves. I still do that every day, and it makes me really happy. Most of the days. Most of the days. It even led to the circumstances that brought me to meet my incredible wife. That alone was a career worth dedicating yourself to. It even, all of this adds up to me, to a deeply lived life, something that this profession provides us all, if we're willing to accept that. Alinea Nest and the Aviary began as experiments in possibility. Each restaurant, every plate, every glass, every night, every year has been an ongoing question. How do we continue to challenge assumptions? How do we make it better? How do we stretch ourselves and take more risks? How can we chase the impossible while sprinting the marathon? Like most of us in those early days, I felt like I had to control everything. For that little health scare, it taught me that innovation is a collaborative act. For that, I thank all the team members that have come through all of our restaurants the past 20 years. All the artisans, the farmers, my partners, the designers and the dreamers that said yes to an idea that at first didn't really make sense. I can't thank you enough, truly. Many of you are out there tonight. Chef Shields, Pride, Jenner, so many of you. I honestly can't thank you enough. We wouldn't have been able to do this in any other city, I don't think. With any other community of industry professionals. And the eager, open-minded diners and food journalists who champion newness, recognized excellence, and respected the pursuit. Restaurants, to me, are a constantly unfinished story. Everything about it is transient. The dishes, the services, the people, and the memories. What we do requires extraordinary grit, care, generosity, and a genuine love for the game. This Lifetime Achievement Award is not an ending for me. It's a reminder of why and what we began. And it adds more energy to propel us all forward. So here's to the next question, the next experiment, the next chance taken, the next what's next. Thank you, Banchet Awards. Thank you, Chicago. And all of you for creating something profound every day. So special, so big, and yet often unseen by us. It goes without saying, but let's take care of our teams in this very uncertain time. And here's to the next 25 years. Thank you very much.
Okay, you can sit down, he's gone. Now let's pivot to the artists that work in sugar, butter, and pure sorcery. The people who bring the meal home and make you rethink your relationship with carbohydrates. Here to give the award for Pastry Chef of the Year, presented by Nielsen Massey Vanillas, would you please welcome our friend Beth Nielsen and Michelin-starred pastry chef from Elska and Creepy's, Chef Anna Posey.
You know, when I was studying drawing in Milwaukee, I never thought I'd end up in a pastry kitchen, let alone presenting an award like this in front of all you beautiful people.
This industry really is unpredictable, don't you think? Like biting into a bonbon and not reading the ingredients.
Exactly. You know, Beth, some say that pastry chefs are the unsung heroes, always baking second fiddle to the folks flambeing the sushi.
Wait, what the? Flambe? What? Okay. Yeah, I don't think you flambe sushi.
Well, I don't know, Beth. I'm a pastry chef, so. But whether you're working in a restaurant alongside a chef de cuisine or running the show yourself in a bakery, I'm so excited to get to shine a spotlight on these extremely talented artists.
As I too. Tonight's nominees in this category are crafting menu items that bring that beautiful French dinner to a stunning finish. They're turning heads on 47th Street at the jaw-dropping line, forming for their delicious cakes.
And tonight's nominees blend traditions from the Philippines and the Middle East with a little bit of Midwestern relish.
Whether you're taking their creations to go with a cup of coffee or in the dining room over the last sips of your wine, there's no denying the talent and dedication on display in these pastry kitchens.
And the nominees for Best Pastry Chef are Courtney Kenyon Snyder from Obelix and Le Bouchon, Justin Larius, Del Sur Bakery, Mary Eder McClure, Galit Cafe Yaya, and Deidre Simmons, Pookie Crack Cakes.
We gotta do it together. I told her she can't cheat. I don't ever cheat. Ready? We'll do it together.
Justin Larius, Del Sur
Bakery.
It seems like I'm doing all the crying tonight. I did write a speech because my staff forced me to. Before, I do want to say hi to my grandma who's watching from the Philippines. As I have reflected and panicked on the possibility of this happening, I realized in order for me to comprehend such an honor like this, I needed to take myself out of this equation and reflect on the fact that this win would not be possible if it wasn't for the collective effort of my team. To my head baker, Jesse, who's been by my side throughout all of this and has been fixing a lot of my mistakes. I share this with you, Jesse. To Maria, Dawn, Christina, Vaughn, Ellie, Marlene, Smaller and Tolliver, Dee Dee, Devin, and Kevin, you all show up to make my dream a possibility, and I'm forever grateful for that. I'm really such a crybaby, sorry. Thank you for always standing up for yourselves, for your rights, for your peers, and your constant motivation to be the best boss I can be. To our team of accountants, lawyers, and financial advisor, Andrea. Thank you for teaching this 24-year-old how to run a business legally. To Francis, thank you for starting it all. I'm sorry, I know. To my family, my mom Merle, who set aside her own ambitions to move to this country and give my sisters and I a chance in life. Thank you, Mom. To the rest of my family, Leslie, Kathleen, Ron, Geraldine, Colin. To my best friends, Annika, Tris, Dora, Bree, and Jewel, thank you for your support and comfort, especially during my darkest times. To our customers, some of whom waited 2 hours in line and -5 yesterday, thank you. To all pastry chefs and bakers, I see you, I love you, and I hear you. I consider you guys my mentors, and thank you so much for your community. As we prepare for our first year, I am proud to share that our business continues to thrive while we challenge outdated kitchen norms, prioritizing the well-being of our staff over profit. This success affirms that leading with respect, intentionality, transparency, and integrity, it's not only possible, but sustainable. I hope that many of you here today will seek meaningful ways to support your teams and help our industry be more equitable for everyone, especially those in marginalized communities. Thank you.
I love that. At the Oscars, the actors are like, I'd like to thank my agent, and the restaurant awards show, they're like, my financial advisor and the guy that keeps me in business. Make sure I don't get raided. One of the most anticipated award of the nights are up next. This is for Chef of the Year. These nominees aren't just cooking food, they are defining what Chicago cuisine is. Would you please help me welcome from Great Lakes Regional President from Cisco, Peter Peluso, and from the 3 Michelin-starred restaurant Smith, Chef John Shields.
That's a tough one to have to follow, but good evening, everyone. Tonight we get to present one of the highest honors of the evening, a celebration of creativity, leadership, and the chefs who push Chicago's culinary identity forward every single day.
I just want to say also congratulations to all the nominees, all the winners tonight, and Chef Achatz, thank you for everything you've done for me, everyone in this room, and people around the world that have no idea. So just wanted to throw it in there. In this city, excellence doesn't come easy. It requires obsession, resilience, vision, and the courage to create food that tells a story. The 4 chefs nominated tonight do exactly that in 4 completely different and extraordinary ways. And the nominees are
Chef Andrew Lim has expanded the Parrilla universe with Parrilla Fare, Parrilla Steakhouse, and the new Noricor Hand Roll Bar, each one showcasing his mastery of bold Korean flavors and modern precision. This year, Andrew proved that comfort food and innovation can live in the same breath, turning technique, heart, and heritage into restaurants that instantly feel iconic.
At Proxy, Jennifer Kim. Jennifer's redefined global inspired cuisine with her fearless approach to flavor, texture, and storytelling. Her dishes invite guests into a world that is both deeply personal and strikingly inventive, making every plate a cultural conversation and a work of art.
Chef John Mannion. Has long been a champion of live fire cooking, and this year Elche and Bracero showcased his undeniable mastery of flame, smoke, and South American soul. His cooking is bold, primal, joyful, the kind of food that makes you understand exactly why chefs fall in love with this craft in the first place.
And, last but not least, through Lilac Tiger, Coach House, Mira, Sarima, Cafe, Chef Zubair Mohajir continues to evolve the culinary landscape with explosive creativity and an unmistakable point of view. His work this year blended Southeast Asian flavors with inventive technique, proving that ambition and authenticity can ignite a city's dining scene.
These 4 chefs represent the best of Chicago. Relentless.
Thank you. It's hard not to feel, even after all these years, a little bit of imposter syndrome looking around this room. It's humbling, to say the least. Word for tonight is family. I want to thank my family. My wife, Nicole, who without her, none of this would be possible. My kids, who stayed up late, go to bed. Max and Meme, it's time. School tomorrow, thank God. My restaurant family, everyone who makes it possible, the chefs who actually do all the heavy lifting and cooking, always inspired by them. Cooper, congratulations, man. It's been a ride. I'm very happy to have you by my side. Chicago family, most importantly to me right now. I'm continually inspired and awed by just being here. This is a city that stands up for each other. There's so many people in this room that I don't know that have dropped everything to help people they don't know. When people come in from out of town, they always ask what makes Chicago different, and it is that we stand up for each other. We look out for each other. Now more than ever, super important, but I'm just proud to be a little part of this. So thank you all so much. It means a lot. Cheers.
So I got to tell you a really quick story, and then I need a favor from you really quick, and then we'll give out our last award for the evening. When I reached out, like how does this show happen? I get on the phone, and I get super annoying, and I just start calling people and texting people, and I called Chef John, and I asked him if he would be here tonight, and he checked the date really quick, and then he said right away, he goes, "Oh, that's my birthday." And I of course, in my brain, I was like, "Oh, well then, maybe next year, right?" And then 2 seconds later, he goes, "I got it, I'll be there." On his birthday. Would you come out here for a quick second, please? Yeah, let's go. On me. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear John. Happy birthday to you. Thank you. I would have been like, no, I'm going to having pizza. It's my birthday. All right, we're here at the grand finale, Restaurant of the Year. These are the places that set the standard, where detail matters and where excellence isn't a goal, it's the baseline. Here to present the award for Restaurant of the Year, from Talk, please welcome Ashley Harris, and from Fox 32 and the Supper with Sylvia podcast, please welcome Sylvia Perez.
Thank you so much, Michael. Oh, how much fun are we having, right? I want to reiterate what Chef Mannion said, which is, I love covering the restaurant scene in Chicago because of the fact that all of you guys support each other so much. The food and beverage industry here, I don't think I've seen anything like it. So thank you for that. Thank you for all you do. And I agree. Don't you think Michael Muser needs his own show? Right? He's really good. He's very good. Okay, so the final award of the night, a big one. As we all know, restaurants are the one thing that we pretty much all have in common, right? So whatever you have going on, there's a good chance it's going on at least every once in a while at a Chicagoland restaurant.
If you're having a good year, you gather to celebrate. If you need solace, comfort, community, your neighborhood restaurant waits for you with warmth and hospitality. All you have to do is book a reservation on Talk.
Of course, she would tell us to do that. We love Talk as well. And most importantly, restaurants are outside of your home, so that means there's no work involved and nobody has to do the dishes, right?
And whether you work in the industry or not, Everyone has strong feelings about restaurants.
And let's face it, if you're in this room, or if you've made it this far in the live stream with us tonight, you definitely have strong feelings about restaurants.
Looking at the list of nominees, you could say, how could we possibly choose a winner here? All of these nominees exemplify what makes a dining in a restaurant beautiful. They transcend the purpose of hospitality and take the whole experience to greater heights.
So every service at each of these restaurants pushes our whole industry further, because all 4 of these establishments are truly excellent. Our hospitality industry is lucky to have them.
But this is an award show, so let's find out who's our 2026 Restaurant of the Year.
Are you ready? Okay, here we go. The nominees for Restaurant of the Year. We begin with Cellar Door Provisions. Hai Su Vietnamese Kitchen. Indian. And Proxy.
And the winner is Indian.
Thank God Chef is in India right now. This is fun. Okay, so had no idea, was not prepared for this. Couple of people we got to thank super quick, all of our investors, Rajiv and Payal, Parul and Ishan, Chef himself, Roy. It's not easy to retrofit an old building in River North, and I think he's fixing something right now, honestly, as we're all here. So thank you, Roy. Big thank you to all the other people at the restaurant. Our GM, Michael Sandlin, has taken that from, it's a different restaurant right now, and we wouldn't be where we are without him, to people like Sahil Sethi, who constantly make sure that we are doing things the way that we should in the front of house and following laws and rules and making sure payroll's tight and taking care of everyone. But I think most importantly, my name's Luke. I'm on the front of house side of things. I'm the restaurant manager. Sorry, a little late on that one. Most importantly, I think all the guys back in the kitchen who grew up eating this food took major risks to come to this country and cook for Chicago. And they explain in more languages than I even knew existed their stories and their history and why these recipes are important. So big thank you to all the guys in the kitchen. Thank you to all the chefs who have inspired them and who inspire us wearing the suits in the front of house. And I think the last thing I want to say is just more than ever, when fascism is on the rise, Mussolini came for the Italians' pasta, he came for their bread, he came for their oil, he came for their beef. What you do for us is really important, and without it, we cease to exist. So chefs in the room, thank you for everything. Keep cooking, that's how you fight it. To all the people in the front of house, keep telling your chef stories, that's how you fight it. And to everybody in Chicago, thank you so much for honoring us with this award. Keep dining at our restaurants. Thank you so much.
Just a big thank you for making us part of the Chicago community. That's what I would say on behalf of Chef Suji and myself is thank you for accepting us, We've been here for 8 years, starting with a different restaurant, and now taking a bigger leap of faith and opening something like Indian, starting with a la carte and tasting and just transitioning completely into tasting kind of menu. I think it's unbelievable to get this award, but it's the whole team that puts the show together, and we're just a small part of it. So thank you so much for making a part of it amazing.
What a night, what an industry, what a show. I would like to say congratulations and thank you to all of tonight's nominees. Oh, look, I can see you guys twitching. I need a drink, I need a drink. Calm down. There's like 6 bars up there, and they're all open until 11 o'clock. Then they shut down, but your decision-making in bad ways does not. Thank you so much to our sponsors tonight. Our sponsors, I know you're peppered throughout the space. We can't do this without you, and we really like to bring up and celebrate all of our chefs and all of our sommeliers. So thank you to the sponsors for doing that. If you won a Banchet Award tonight, you may not leave. You must come up on stage with your Banchet Award so that we can take your picture. Everyone else, go upstairs and get hammered and eat a bunch of food. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
If you won a Jean Banchet Award tonight, please make your way to the stage for a photo op. If you won a Jean Banchet Award tonight, please make your way to the stage for a photo opportunity. And congratulations.